Are y'all ready? It's time. Woo! Good evening and welcome to Moments with Mama Sue. I'm so glad to see you. Listen, it seems like it has been such a long time because since we were together last was way back before I even went to the GMWA convention. And I did get an opportunity to do a few pop-up lives, but the show itself, oh my goodness, I missed you. I missed you. Put it in the chat if you miss me too. It was so great to get an opportunity to travel to Memphis, Tennessee, to see all that I was able to see and experience. It was absolutely amazing. Got to hear some wonderful artists. I got to pretend for like 5 minutes that I was with Josh Bracey's choir, because you know when they get to doing all their little movements, I was there for it. I had a great time. It was absolutely wonderful. I attended sessions in the Alliance Room and got to see artists and individuals that are connected to this thing we love and call gospel music. And I also had an opportunity to perform with Texas Mass Choir. And for any of you that were watching, I put some of the clips, shared some of the live streams on my Facebook page, and they still reside there. So if you want to go back at some time in the future and look at those, they still good. It'll still bless you, even in replay. Before we get in too deep, would you go ahead and like and share what we have going on? You can share this on your platforms, and that will just help us to be able to build our audience, and the positive conversation will just go out a little bit further. So take the time now to just go to Mama Sue Roseberry where you are viewing this, or if you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn. Be sure to like and share. And most especially if it's your very first time watching with us, go ahead and put that in the chat too and let me know. Because when I go back through, and I always do, please believe me, I go back through the broadcast and I look for all of the comments And when you tell me that it was your first time watching, I like to send a little something, something from me to you, just thanking you for making a big old hole in your schedule and coming to be a part of Mama Sue's family. I absolutely love it. And I just want you to have something from me that lets you know that. So, everybody, please like and share. Got to give a shout out to those viewers and listeners on WJIL.today with Moments with Mama Sue and replay on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 3 a.m., 10 a.m., and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. www.wjil.today. Gospel Radio, Roku, and Fire Stick TV. Try saying that fast 3 times, okay? But I absolutely love that you all tune in with me over there. It is so exciting to me to know that there are people all over the globe who are watching Moments with Mama Sue. Some in places where I will never get an opportunity to travel, but I sure do love you and send cyber hugs and positive energy your way. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching the replays. And thank you, Pastor Patty, for letting me be on the WJIL.today platform. That's everything. Just to have an opportunity to connect and be able to introduce some wonderful people I know to some other wonderful people that I know. And then, y'all, just as long as I have been away from you all, it seems, I've been away from the Southeast Senior Center, but I will be there tomorrow. Can you say tomorrow? I'll be at the center tomorrow. I promise I'll be there with new music for our Southeast Senior Center sing-along. And you don't want to miss it. If you're in West Texas, in Midland, America, come on by. We would love to have you join in and sing with us. And if you're not, you still are not left out. You can tune in via my Facebook page at 10:30 Central Time ish, 10:30-ish, and we will go live and you'll get a chance to hear us singing. You'll get a chance to hear me playing the piano. Oh, I be really curling at the center, I'm telling you. And we have a marvelous time. So please tune in with us. I hope that you're already liking and sharing this, because we're going to have a fabulous guest on today that I cannot wait for you to meet. But in the meantime, before I get there, let me remind you that Thoughts from the Heart, daily thoughts and inspirational quotes from yours truly, is available to you via www.sueroseberry.com. Let me see what our thought was for today. It's a perpetual calendar, so all you got to do is keep flipping it. No year, so it just goes on and on and on. And today, August the 5th, it says, we get to change our minds. Don't feel like you've been painted into a corner and there are no other options. Now, the Lord downloaded all of these inspirational quotes and ideas to yours truly. So when you get that, I call them Mama Sueisms. Put it on your counter, on your desk, in your room, on your dresser, and just flip and have a little bit of Mama Sue every day. But let me tell you, the best thing ever is to know that you have options. So don't let anybody make you feel like you cannot change your mind. And then last but not least, I want to tell you that you can book me to come where you are. I'm a storyteller. I do speaking engagements, workshops, singing, and all kinds of things. And I love to connect and interact with you. So all you have to do is just invite me. I would love to be a part of whatever it is that you have going on. There's going to be a lot of exciting things coming up for the month of August. And we'll be sharing some of those a little bit later in the broadcast too. But for right now, just know that we are in for a treat right after this. Yes, he is. And it's worthy. I'll glorify you. Hey, all of my days, I'll do it. 'Cause there's nobody greater. No one greater.
It's beyond entertainment. It's an experience. Book Mama Sue Roseberry today.
That is worthy. Ah, yes. Listen, if you just tuned in with us, I hope that you are getting ready and settled in, that you went on and got you a beverage, a cold drink, a glass of water, so you can settle in and get to have this awesome conversation with me and my very special guest. I met her a few years ago through a collective with the Independent Gospel Artists Alliance. Freda Gardner is her name, and she hails from the DMV area, Metropolitan Washington, D.C. area. We were all part of what I like to think of is an experimental time that was following the pandemic. We were all on lockdown and everybody was trying to figure out how we were going to move forward, what we were going to do, and how our gifts were going to actually be able to evolve and be impactful. And I think that that shutdown really caused many of us to really blossom and bloom in ways that we could not have imagined. Freda's melodious voice has been heard on a number of her independent releases. She has two releases that came out just recently, I Love You, Lord, and God is There. These songs are a testimony of what God has done in her life, as well as an anthem of thankfulness to God for preserving her through loss and tragedy. She's an amazing woman of God, and I'm so excited that I get to welcome her. So go ahead and start typing in the chat. Welcome, Freda. Welcome, Freda Gardner, to Moments with Mama Sue.
Hello, hello, hello. Good to be here.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And the exciting thing is, we got to see each other face to face last month.
Yep.
For the very first time. And I didn't even recognize, she came in, she said, "Do you recognize me?" And I had to look at her for what she said. I said, "Ah!" Because when you move people out of context and you don't really get a chance to see them in their natural, in the places you've always seen them, sometimes you miss it. But I was so glad that I got to see you.
I was even joyful, because I never thought in a million years that you and I would be able to meet up personally. But I'm glad we did.
Absolutely. Freda, you have been singing for quite some time. Tell us how it all started. Talk about Freda, the fledgling singer who came along.
Well, I started singing at the age of 5 with my siblings, and I was the youngest. And we used to sing the Mother's Day song at church. And then we started the youth choir, and I was a part of that at the church. So I started singing when I was 5. Unfortunately, after the death of my dad in 1975, I was 16 years old. I stopped singing. I got so angry with God. I'm not singing no more. And I was going to the High School of Music and Art, being groomed to go to Juilliard. At the age of 17, I got pregnant and dropped out. And I mean, after the death of my dad, I mean, hanging out in the clubs, and that was in the South Bronx, okay? Hanging out in the clubs, the gangs that just started, shootouts and all of that stuff. So I'm just grateful that I'm still alive.
Mm. Now, things happen to us along life's journey, but they don't have to be a period
Right.
in our life.
Right.
They can be a comma, because you mentioned that you were a teen mom, but you still had these gifts in your life. So, how was it that the Lord was able to heal your broken heart and bring you back to a place of service?
In 1984, I got a job down in the DC area. And one of my aunts, my Aunt Frances, called me out of the blue. And she said, "Why don't you come live with me?" And I was like, okay. And so I moved in with her. And in 1984, she told me then that the Lord told her to tell me that my voice would be heard around the world. I'm laughing on the inside because I'm like, I'm not even singing, so I don't even know how that's going to happen. She told me later on that the Lord told her that I laughed. But I mean, and she was one who was very into church. She never asked me to join her church. I ended up moving to Virginia, and I joined a church there, and it's the First Baptist Church of Vienna. And I joined there in 1986. I had my daughter and then 2 years later in 87, I had my daughter, and 2 years later in 89, I started singing again. But I realized that I had lost some of the gift, and I prayed to God to restore it. And I told him, I said, "You restore the gift, I'll sing to and for you for the rest of my life." And that's my plan, to sing to and for him for the rest of my life.
Now, when you were singing, were you just committed to singing gospel music, or were you trying to be a R&B star?
Well, when in my younger days, I sung everything. Opera. I mean, I went to the High School of Music and Art, so we sung everything.
Mhm.
But my main focus had always been singing gospel. Recently, I think it was about 3 years ago, I was in an international singing contest, and I was singing R&B. Okay, and I came in second place, which I never thought that would happen. But I mean, my main focus is gospel music.
Absolutely. Now, do you write music as well?
Oh, okay. So in 2016, Katrina Lewis called me and she said, "Freda, it's time." I said, "Time for what?" She said, "It's time for you to go in the studio." And I told her then, God had been giving me songs that I was recording on my phone. I just needed to complete them. Well, of course, procrastination came in, and, I didn't complete them until May of 2018. It was 49 of us in DR. And then the day we were leaving to come home, my guy had a stroke. And so I kept like, okay, well, I called my aunt. I was boo crying. She said, "You better shut that noise up unless those are tears of joy." And I didn't realize why she said that until I saw the brain scan and how close the stroke came to the heart of his brain.
Ooh.
But they were saying, now before they would even see him, I had to give them a credit card for $6,500. And then they wanted $5,500 a day. And they said he'd be there for a week or two. So when I called my aunt, she said, "The Lord told me y'all would be out of there by Saturday." We got out of there on Friday. But before that, I didn't have a job. I didn't have an income. Okay. And here I am, trying to figure out, okay, how this going to work. But I had gotten a settlement, and I was able to pay off all my credit cards and my car note and all of that stuff. And so that, with me paying off my credit cards, I was able to use a credit card to pay for his hospital stay. But on that air ambulance, I finished 8 songs.
Ah, wait a minute. Let's go back. You said while you were on the ambulance.
On the air ambulance, I finished 8 songs.
Ah,
And
so
remember, I said I didn't have a job. Okay, so I didn't have a job at that time. And my aunt kept telling me there's something that you're supposed to be doing. You're not going to get a job until you do it. So on that air ambulance, I finished those 8 songs. I got my first job offer in June. Yeah. I started working for that company in July. She said, that's not going to be the only offer you get. You're going to need to pray about which one you take and keep.
no.
I got another job offer to work for as a contractor with the government. She said, that one's not stable. They had let go of all of the contractors that December. Then I got a job offer to work at Amtrak. And she said, that's the one you take and keep. And so after that, I went into the studio. I started working at Amtrak in September. I went into the studio that October. And yeah, I released my first EP in April of 2019.
Ooh, just hands up. Y'all can just put some hands up in the chat, some emojis, because let me tell you, there is nothing that is too hard for our God.
Ooh, oh.
Woo! I felt something. Wait a minute. I felt something down in my pinky toe when I said that. There is nothing that is too hard for our
Nothing.
God. Now,
Nothing.
when these insurmountable things were happening and God was giving you this music, the music was not only about you writing something that would be a blessing to the world, but God was trying to tell you something.
Yes, he
What
was.
was he saying through the music?
Well, in the song that I wrote, God is There, he was telling me that I was going to lose some important people in my life. He was also telling me that there are friends that are going to turn their backs on me. And that happened also. But in like I said, my release was in April of 2019. I lost my mom October of 2019. But I still have the video of her, my Aunt Frances, standing next to each other, and they were all singing. I had my whole family come up and sing. I lost my Aunt Frances in 2021. Okay, so yeah, those were two devastating things, but I'm so glad that I still have a video of them having a good time, praising God.
Yes, yes. And that God, you know, there's a passage of scripture in the Bible that lets us know that as believers, as his children, he'll not let anything come upon us unaware.
Right.
And he had already started preparing you.
Yes. Yes.
For what was going to take place.
And I'm grateful for that, because when I look back at the words, I'm like, wow, okay, God, you were just letting me know.
Yeah. And not only was that ministry to you and for you, but it was something that you could then authentically share with other people.
Right, right, right.
Because
and I'm grateful that I can share it, because maybe it'll help somebody else to get that.
Absolutely. And there's nothing like having been there and done that yourself.
Right.
I tell people, been there, done that, got the t-shirt to prove it, using it for a dust rag. You've been through some stuff.
Yeah.
But when you sing as a gospel artist, being able to connect with the lyrics, the words that you sing, the melodies that you sing, and minister to other people, that's the heart of what we do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's very important that we get it out. In the lyrics that we sing, we're getting out and helping people to just understand that God can do whatever he want to do, whenever he want to do it, however he want to do it, wherever he want to do it, and whenever he want to do it. So
yes, he can. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more with Freda in a minute about some of the awesome awards that she's been nominated for, and some of the spaces and places that God has taken her that she maybe never imagined she would go. And we're going to talk about it right after this. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Miss Annie from way down south. She's loud, she's fun, but you'd better watch out. Put on your seatbelt and take the rollicking ride with the unpredictable Miss Annie as she whips and turns and drives straight into your heart. Own it today at www.sueroseberry.com. Woo! Listen, if you just tuned in, I have the phenomenal Freda Gardner with me today. Freda, it's so good to have you on Moments with Mama Sue.
Thank you. I appreciate you even inviting me because you didn't have to do it, but you did. I'm grateful.
Oh, I am so delighted because we love getting an opportunity to introduce artistry to people from all over, and Mama Sue's family is kind of diverse. We're from all over. There are people on here today that I know. Jimmy Russell has been chiming in, and Yvonne Matthews, and people from all over, and it will be seen in places and spaces that we may never actually go. But I want to talk with you a little bit about that because you've been nominated for some awards for your music, for your songs. Talk about how that feels and what you think about all of this coming at this season in your life.
It's something that I would have never expected. I mean, you can get your music out there, but that doesn't mean that people are going to like your music. But, my whole thing is, okay, God gives me words to put in a song. So those are the words that I'm going to use. And a lot has to do with my life, but he's also given me songs that just tell about how much I love him and how much he has done for me. So those things I am grateful for. Now the awards, I mean, it's exciting, and then you get to sing on the platforms for those awards and stuff. So those things are important, I know, so that I can get my music out there. But if I don't win the award, it's not upsetting to me. I'm just grateful that I was nominated for it. So those are things that I would have to say about award show.
Yeah, and it's exciting to me because people are always asking me, well, how did you feel you on Sunday Best? And I tell people I didn't win, but I won. And they don't understand it sometimes. But what I'm saying is that the opportunity just to get to share what I am so passionate about, that's a win to me.
Yeah.
That is a win to me. And to be able to let people know what God can do in your life, that is incredible and amazing. Now, I talked about in this season of our lives because, y'all, she ain't a baby, but she looks so beautiful. We're not going to talk about how old we are. We're just going to say we are blessed and highly favored. Blessed and highly favored. But we never thought we'd be walking into these spaces at this time in our life. And have you questioned God about why his timing is right now?
I'm just amazed that it is right now. Okay. Because, I mean, like I said before, I could have been dead sleeping in my grave. He didn't have to use me. I'm just grateful that he is using me.
Absolutely. and that we have the ability to go. Now, last month I heard you on stage at the Alliance, and I also heard you on the main stage at the Gospel Music Workshop of America, where everybody is somebody. Heard you singing. And of course, I would share some of those clips today, but y'all know the YouTube police and the social media police won't let me be great. But before we leave today, I promise you, Mama Sue's family, this is what we do. I'm going to give Freda a chance to just share a line or two from a verse or of a song that she'd like to share just right here on Mama Sue's family. So tell everybody they better huckle buckle up in here before we get to the end so they can hear that. Freda, what would you be doing if you were not singing? I know you went to a performing arts high school, so you already had that in your DNA and your makeup. So you were already on that trajectory. But what else would you be doing if you were not ministering in song and
You
music?
know, if I would have kept on down the road that I was going, I would have probably been on drugs. Yeah. If I'd have kept down that road, it would have been not good for me. So having being able to be on platforms where I'm just telling my story and what God has done for me, I'm grateful. Now, other than that, I would have just been working.
Just a 9 to 5.
It's the 9 to 5. And that would have been it.
Well, let me put up this visual right quick because I want people to see when I talk about she has music out there, y'all. She has music, and you can see it behind her too. One of her projects in God's time. Talk about that. Tell us what that collection of music is all about.
That was my original. That's the I mean, on that EP, I have, what was it, 4 songs that I wrote. Then I did In the Garden, which was the first hymn that I sung. And then one of my cousins, and this is really amazing. He was helping do the backgrounds. And I told him at one of the rehearsals, I said, I need for you to write a Kojic type song so that I can include that on my EP. And you know, I want to add some hymns in there to sing also. He finished that song in 30 minutes. Rick Pringle, Elder Rick Pringle, finished that song in 30 minutes. Yeah. So I have some talented people in my family that, I mean, and like I said, my family is a singing family. So, you know, I mean, but I'm just glad that I was able to get it done and to help, you know, him to do just a song that he did in 30 minutes. It was just like, wow. Yeah.
So by it being your first, is there a song of all the songs that you've recorded that is the most dear to you? What's your favorite one?
Jesus, I worship you. And that song I did with Joshua Somerville. And at first he was like, no, I don't want to do that. I said, yeah, we're going to do this song together. And that song, I mean, I still listen to that song because it just means a lot, you know. That's the main reason why I'm doing music is to worship, you know. So that's yeah,
Ah,
that's important.
so Jesus, I worship you. Share some of the lyrics from that.
Oh goodness. Jesus, I love you. I worship you in all I do. Jesus, I love you. You mean so much to me.
Uh, just the sentiments of our heart. And sometimes when we're singing melodies, some of you that are out there that are listening to this, maybe this will encourage you to push yourself to begin to expand what God has given you. You have melodies that you sing when you're just around praying at home or dusting or doing whatever you're doing, riding around in the car sometime, and there's that melody that is recurring, that just between you and the Lord, and you're just singing, and you think that is just a little something something and it's not very important. But you'd be surprised who will be elevated and lifted by the melodies that you share that are in your heart. Did you ever think, Frida, that you would be able to write music that others would be inspired by?
No. Mm-mm. I mean, the fact that God was giving me music that I was recording was just amazing to me. But I never thought that I would be in a studio. And if it wasn't for Katrina Lewis, I probably wouldn't be. And I'm not sure why God told her to contact me. But I mean, I was just amazed when she did. And I was like, I mean, she used to be the musical director at my church.
Mm-hmm.
And she had gone, but for her to call me after she left was amazing to me. So and for God to have already been giving me songs that I was recording on my phone, and I told her, I need to finish them. So once I finish them, but yeah, like I said, I procrastinated. Yeah.
But it's good to know that the Lord knows right where we are.
Yeah.
He understands right where we are. And in His will, He will uh, allow us to just blossom and do things that we never dreamed we'd be able to do. And that's why we serve Him, because we need Him to bring that about. Look at Jimmy chimed in and he said, push yourself. Everybody has a song. He said, push yourself. Because sometimes, I think that one of the main reasons why I am so passionate about music is because I want people to know that they have options,
Right.
that there are things that God wants to do in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I want them to know that they are not disqualified
Right.
from being used by God.
And Jimmy Russell came to me at one of the events that Philip Carter had, and he said, I want you to sing with Jimmy Russell and Bach. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I didn't expect that either. But
Open doors.
yeah.
Open doors. And when you step out on faith and begin to exercise your gifts, that's to everybody under the sound of my voice. When you begin to exercise those gifts, let me tell you, God is faithful.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
promise. And He will open doors. Y'all see that? Y'all get that move? He will.
Open them. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, He will
But
open doors.
what I realize is that sometimes He has to close doors so that you will walk through the doors that He's opening.
The appropriate door.
Yes, 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 yes.
Look, we have one of the viewers that tuned in with you said that Trina is amazing. So glad that you worked with her. Thank you as well for having played sax on one of your songs also. You play the saxophone?
Oh no, this guy Tony Smith played the
Oh,
sax on one of my
having
songs. Yeah.
him play sax
Yes, yes,
on one of your
yes.
songs. Okay, well, Tony, what a blessing. What a blessing. And thank you for tuning in. And yes, Jimmy says He is faithful, because sometimes We have just written ourselves off.
Mm-hmm.
We have said, oh, I don't know, God does not want to use me. He is not going to be interested in nothing that I got going on. But he is interested, and he
Yes.
wants you're exactly you. Yes, you. You are exactly the one that he wants to use to expand the kingdom.
Exactly. And he has a purpose for everyone. And one of the things that bothers me a little is when you have jealous people,
Come
you
on.
know, and I'd be like, why are you jealous of me? If this is something that you want to do it. If I can help you, I will. But do you want to live the life that I lived to get here?
Mm,
Mm,
that part.
mm.
That part. But you know what? I think that there is so much room. There's room for all of us. God
Yes,
is such a big God, and He has avenues for blessings that we haven't even thought about. Sometimes
yes.
our finite understanding, we're just looking at one little lane, and
Hmm.
we think that's the only way God can bless us. And we were talking a little bit earlier offline, and I was saying that I was so glad to have had the involvement with IGAA because what it showed me was that there are avenues for ministry outside of what we ever even dreamed.
Right, right. Exactly.
It's not just some of you are going to minister outside the walls of your church. Maybe you're not going to be the worship leader at the church. God has somewhere else for you to utilize your gifts. Maybe it won't be on a social media platform. God may take you into the workplace and allow you to use your gift. It may be in schools, it may be in after school programs, it
Mhm.
may be in a variety of places because that's just how big and incredible our God is.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And
What, go ahead.
this past Christmas at an event that my job was having, a Christmas event, and they were asking for people to get up and do karaoke. And so I got up and I did Mary Did You Know? Yeah. And people were like, they didn't realize I could sing. So it was like, oh, okay. I mean, just to make sure that you're doing songs that are going to touch somebody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we have opportunities. And I'm telling you, if you are open and you begin to listen and just pray and ask God, God, where do you want me to utilize what you have given me?
Mhm.
God will open. There it is. There it is. He will open doors. He
Yes, he
will
will.
open doors, and you will find yourself ministering in places that you never dreamed because if there are people there, there are needs.
Right.
Woo! I got that right too.
Mm,
If there
mm.
are people there, there are needs. And whatever you have from the Lord, that is worthy of sharing will bless people and help them in the area of their needs, in the
Yeah.
area of their needs. What's something that you enjoy doing, Frida, in your free time? What do you like to do? What's your hobby?
Okay. I like to travel. So this coming September, me and some of my family members, we're going to Dubai.
Ooh.
Yes. But before the pandemic, I mean, me and my family, and especially me and my daughter, we would take trips. I mean, go on cruises or whatever. As a matter of fact, when we was coming back from a cruise in February, and they were having people, use hand sanitizer and stuff, they already knew that the COVID was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but after that, I mean, wasn't a whole lot of trips. but I'm taking them now.
We're back.
Yes,
We're back. We're back to the trip.
yes.
Well, look, I got to show you guys the visual again because we just talked about one of the songs that were on there. And then you have some singles. I love you, Lord. And the sentiments of that already make me smile.
Mm, yeah, that one. That's my last single, and I just wanted to make sure that people understood that I love the Lord. I mean, He's done too much in my life for me not to love Him.
Ooh, I love that. And then you also have a single, He'll Make It All Right.
Uh-huh. Now that's a hand clapping, foot stomping type of song, you know.
He'll make it all right.
We
And
will.
but we got to keep telling people. We got to keep telling people that the
Mhm.
Lord will make it all right because the plan of the enemy is to lie
Right.
because he's the father of lies. And he
Mhm.
want to make you think that it's not going to be all right.
Right. You can't do that, girl. What are you? What? There's no way in the world you're going to be in a recording studio. Mm, okay.
God will tell you the devil will tell you what you cannot do, but with God, what? All
All
things
things
are
possible.
possible. Hi, Sherelle. Yes, all things are possible. And then the last single that was shown on that visual is wait a minute, let me get it back up here. The last one was
Oh,
Lord, take me higher.
and that's based on the hymn "Higher Ground."
Woo!
Mm,
Lord,
yes.
lift me up
Mm,
and let me stand.
yes. Mm.
Oh my God. And don't what are the things, what aspirations do you have for artistry and ministry? Things that you'd like to do that you haven't done yet. What's still out there?
Oh, um, I like to travel to other countries and sing and get my music out and let people hear. I know there's a woman from my church. She said she took my original CD to Ghana and her family just loved it. So that's one of the things that I would love to do is just to travel different places and especially different countries to just get my music out there so that people will know that, yeah, we all go through hard times,
Mhm.
but we got to listen. We got to listen and make sure that we're doing what he says.
And music is the universal language. So I
Mhm.
think that through our music and in so many countries of the world, gospel music is celebrated in a big way.
Yes.
I mean, even more than it is here in our country, sometimes gospel music is on the low end of the totem pole as
Hmm.
far as genres of
Hmm.
music.
Hmm.
But in other countries, the opportunity to hear gospel artists, they do not take that for granted. And so I just think that's a wonderful aspiration. And we pray that God will open up those doors and let them swing wide so that you will have those opportunities for everybody that's watching today. I want you to know how you can follow Freda. You can follow her on her website at www.vocalfreda.com. She's also out there in the social media streets. You can follow her on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. All you have to do is put in Freda Gardner and she will pop up. But most especially, listen, I need you all to go out there now. Make sure that you're getting her music on whatever digital platform you are consuming your music from, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you're listening from. And I want you to download it. Because we already know the artists don't get very much from a stream. It take a whole lot of streams to make an impact. But if you download the music and make it part of your personal library, I know Frida will appreciate that. And guess who else will appreciate that? Me. That's the Blake Shelton finger. Me. I will appreciate it because we want to be supportive. We want to make sure that we are following. Go follow her on social media. Go to her Facebook, her YouTube, and add your followership. Put yourself on there as a follower. If you're not already following, make sure that you're doing that. Follow me so that we can continue to grow and do what we're doing to the glory and honor of God.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
having fun doing this. Are you having fun, Frida?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. And this is something that I never thought that I would be doing. I mean, yeah, no.
Yes, we want you to do that because we can make a difference. And listen, that download is so important. Look, Jimmy Russell said, yes, please download. Please download. Because the projects, Felicia is saying the projects are so inspirational, and they are. I listen to Spotify, but I like having my own playlist.
Yeah.
So I download the music so I can make my own playlist when I'm riding in my car, and it just goes from one
Mm,
to the
mm,
next, to the next,
mm.
to the next, to the next of people that I love and enjoy, and I have downloaded their music. And Frida, do you have music that people can get by hard copy?
Yeah, if they go to my website, they can get it.
Okay.
I mean, I can mail it to them, whatever. If they want it to be mailed to them, but they can also download it from my website. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I want you all to keep tuning in and keep watching Moments with Mama Sue because we will be coming up pretty soon to the Christmas season. So I always go out and I acquire hard copies of some of the music so that I can have it, so that when I do our Christmas giveaways, then I can share that with you all too. So go out there and purchase it and then keep watching because I can guarantee you that I will have some for giveaway at Christmas time. Frida, thank you so much
Oh,
for tuning in with
thank
us
you. Thank
tonight.
you. Thank
And
you.
we're going to get to you just in a moment so you can sing a little verse of something to encourage somebody. But while she's getting together what it's going to be, and I'm going to give it a proper introduction because we have to do these things the right way. So while she's getting that together, let me tell you all that I appreciate so much you sharing with me. And I want to encourage you. If you're not following me, please do that. Please go in and make sure that you're connected. www.sueroseberry.com. I need you to be connected so that you can be a subscriber. We do something on my website that we don't get to do here, and it's called the after chat. That's me getting an opportunity to go a little bit deeper with some of our guests and have conversation and fun things that we talk about that is only for the subscribers on my website. So you can go to www.sueroseberry.com and see all about how you can do that. I would appreciate that so much because I'm telling you, the after chat is something special. And I absolutely love, love, love having that time to visit with our artists and share uh, special things about them that you maybe didn't get to hear as part of this platform. So we want you to go over there and make sure that you are connected because it's exciting to have a place of our own, and the YouTube police and the Facebook police and all the police can't be over there on my website, but you can be. And I'd love to have you be part of that platform. And now, without further ado, I want to bring back my incomparable guest, Miss Freda Gardner. And right here on Moments with Mama Sue right here. You're going to get to hear her share something from her heart. Freda?
Hello, God, it's me. On my knees, I pray and thank you for the gifts you've given me. When I look over these past years, I didn't think that I would make it, but because of you, I'm still here. Hello, God, please forgive me. I know I haven't done all the things that you have asked of me, even though you please me. Heavenly Father, I've fallen short, but you never turned from me. Although I sometimes gone astray, your grace and mercy's always there.
Ah, ooh. Even though I've fallen short,
Mm,
your grace and mercies always there. Thank you, Frida, for
thank you.
blessing us and for being part of Moments with Mama Sue. And for all of you that are tuning in, you can watch this in replay. Be sure to like and share this. And I hope that Frida hang out with me in the hallway as I close, so I can make sure I get this in the wrap.
Okay.
And I want to tell everybody that on the very next Moments with Mama Sue, I'm going to be talking with a phenomenal educator, and we're going to be talking about what a village looks like in 2024. The village has changed. The village has changed, but it still takes a village to be able to rear children. And so we're going to be talking about that as we're getting ready to go back to school. For all of you that are watching the Olympics and doing all of those things, just keep on with the keep on, because I will be doing some pop-up lives on my TikTok platform as I go for the gold. So I'll be on there commenting on my take about the Olympics. So you don't want to miss it. So go to TikTok and find me, Mama Sue Roseberry, and then you can join in and be a part of that as I give that live information. Thank you so much for being here today. And I look forward to seeing you on the next Moments with Mama Sue. Woo! Now that's what I call a great show. Woo! We out of here. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Ah, now we can do it a little better than that. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Oh, well, all right, come on with it. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Yeah. Oh. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Oh, wait. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Never know what to expect. Hey. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Ow. Moments with Mama Sue. Ow. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Yeah. Moments with Mama Sue. Can't you? Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Oh. Well, now we might be done a little bit too much.